Hello and welcome to Nikolai's genetics lessons, and this video going to be about Rh factor, which can be positive and negative, and here's a problem. What is the blood type consistency of two parents who are O positive, who have 8 children? 2 of 8 are reported to be O positive and 6 O negative. Does it seem to be possible or not? Imagine that this is red blood cell, and on the surface of the red blood cell we may have proteins that we call Rh factor, and these proteins also would be antigens. So if, for example, my blood is positive and your blood is negative, in your blood you would have antibodies that would recognize these antigens. If my blood, for example, would be used for transfusion to such person, and such a person would recognize these red blood cells as foreign cells, and immune system of such a person would destroy such red blood cells. So this is very important for blood transfusion. And first of all, is it possible that two persons who are Rh positive may have Rh negative children? And we are diploid, so we have 2 chromosomes from each parent, 23 pairs of chromosomes. And now imagine that on one of the chromosomes we have Rh gene that produce Rh protein, and on one chromosome it is normal. For example, this is going to be positive, and on other chromosome that we inherit from the other parent, it is going to be mutated. So this gene wouldn't produce normal protein, and this protein, due to change in its structure, wouldn't be able to make it to the surface of the red blood cell. So it would stay inside of the red blood cell, and because it would be inside of the cell, it wouldn't trigger immune reaction from the antibodies induced by antibodies of the recipient. But because on the other chromosome we have one normal gene that would produce normal Rh factor, so normal, this is surface protein, so this Rh factor would be still present on the surface of the red blood cell, and those number would be reduced, but still would be able to trigger immune response of the recipient. And of course we may have another situation when organism would have 2 normal genes, 2 normal alleles, and both alleles would produce normal surface protein. In this case we just would have more these proteins on the surface of the red blood cell. And another variant would be when 2 chromosomes would have 2 mutated genes. In this case, this is going to be a blood group that we call Rh negative, and these 2 genotypes would be Rh positive. Now imagine that someone who is heterozygous for this factor, whose genotype is going to be positive and negative, would mate with someone who is also going to be heterozygous for this trait. And when we build a Punnett square, as you see, we can predict outcome of such a cross, and results would be as follows: positive positive here, positive negative here, positive negative here, and negative negative here. Now as you see, 3 quarters would be Rh positive, and 1/4 as a result of such a cross would be Rh negative. So this is 1/4 and this is 3/4 probability. So when we cross someone who is heterozygous and another mate also would be heterozygous, probability that they would have a Rh negative child would be 1/4. So is it possible that out of 8 children, 2 reported to be O positive and 6 O negative? And this is not very likely because, as you see, there are more chances that most of the children would be Rh positive if both parents are heterozygous. But this is possible if we would take large numbers. In some families, even all children can be, say, Rh negative, even if parents are Rh positive. Though this is unlikely, but from the point of view of statistics and law of probability, this is possible. So frequencies of such events would be much less due to this Punnett square probabilities. So our answer would be yes, this is possible. And this is all for today. Thank you for attention. Please subscribe for my new videos that I post almost every day. Thumbs up if you like this video. Please write your comments, questions if you have any, and see you in the next video. Goodbye.